Assalomu alaykum. Men ismim Ulug'bek, science fan o'qituvchisiman. Hozir biz onlayn darslarni olib boryapmiz, ya'ni Google Meet programmasida 6 Blue o'quvchilari bilan birga Making Rainbows mavzusida, ya'ni kamalaklarni qanday qilib yaratilishi va uni fan jihatdan asoslab berish bo'yicha mavzuni olib boryapmiz.
Alright. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Teacher Edwin. So as what Teacher Ulug'bek said, we are having our science online class for the topic making rainbow for 6 Blue. So here we are giving instruction for our students what to do and the concept about how to make rainbow from a white light.
Hello everybody, I'm Odina, biology teacher. I'm talking about how genetic modification is done. To explain this process that are involved in genetic modification, we will look at the way in which bacteria can be genetically modified to produce a human protein. These proteins are made to use in medicine to supply to people who are unable to make them in their own bodies. The first human protein made using GM bacteria was insulin used to treat diabetes. Today, human proteins produced by genetic microorganisms are widely used. Okay, today human proteins produced by GM microorganisms are widely used. Blood proteins that are essential for blood clotting and human growing hormone used to treat people who would otherwise not grow fully. Next, interferon is used to treat some types of cancer. This process, genetic modification, first steps the recurrent gene identified in the human DNA. This red part, essential DNA part. Okay. Next step, restriction enzymes are added to cut the DNA into pieces. This restriction enzyme separates sticky ends. Okay. Next step, plasmid are removed from a bacteria. This plasmid, that's a DNA. Okay. Next steps, restriction enzymes cut the plasmid DNA. This restriction enzyme separates sticky ends. Okay. 5 steps, the pieces of human DNA containing the gene for the recurrent protein are joined to the cut plasmid using ligase enzyme. Okay, the plasmid is now recombinant plasmid. Okay. 6th step, the recombinant plasmid are inserted into bacteria. This recombinant plasmid. This called recombinant plasmid. Okay. Next step, the genetically modified bacteria are growing in a fermenter where they make the protein coded for by the human DNA. This fermenter. Now I explain about genetic modification. This process about how genetic modification is done from microorganisms.
Assalomu alaykum. Men Safar Abror, matematika fanidan dars beraman. Bugun 5-blue sinf o'quvchilariga kasrlarni ko'paytirish va bo'lish mavzusida sherigim Miss Lucy bilan onlayn darslarni olib boryapmiz.
My name is Lucy Kamau and Mr. Abrol and I teach mathematics. Today we are teaching online our grade 5 blue students. We are teaching them how to multiply and divide with fractions. So remember what we are learning today. We are learning how to multiply and divide with fractions. I'm going to give you another example of dividing with fractions. So please make sure you follow what we are doing. If you do have a question, you can put up your hand. I will see it. So given a fraction like 1/4, divide by 2/3, how do we go about it? So remember, the rule is keep, change, and flip. Keep, change, and flip. So what are we keeping? The first fraction remains the same. We change the sign to multiply, and we flip this fraction. So instead of 2/3, we're going to have 3/2.
Assalomu alaykum. Mening ismim Otabek, familiyam Xushnazarov. Qarshi shahridagi Prezident maktab fizika fani o'qituvchisiman. Demak, bugungi darsimiz 10-sinflar uchun olib borilyapti. Demak, bugungi mavzuyimiz ish, energiya va quvvat haqida. Darsimiz o'z navbatida ingliz tili va o'zbek tillarida olib boriladi. Men sherigim Mr. Frank bilan birga darsni olib boramiz.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mr. Frank, the physics teacher of Qarshi Presidential School. I'm with me, my co-teacher, Mr. Otabek. So our topic for this afternoon is work, energy, and power. So let's answer this question. So a stone of weight 4 newtons in the Earth's gravitational field is moved from point P. It is thrown by 30 meters upward to point Q. And then it moved to the right to point R by 40 meters. So the resultant is a 50-meter movement or displacement. So the question is, how much potential energy did the stone gained? So Fayusbek, you are answering A, 120 joules, right?
Yes.
Oh, can you explain to us why the answer is letter A?
Because high is 30
Pushing the
meter,
cart. So there is a force being applied on the cart, and also it is in the same direction as the movement of the motion. So we can consider that one as the cart. Now, most of you observe that especially during traffic accident.
Demak, qaraylik, qiya tekislik berilgan sizlarga. Bir tarafi qiya tekislikning gorizontal holatda uzunligi 40 metr bo'ladi. Vertikal holatda 30 metr va uzunligi 50 metr qiya tekislikning. Shu holatda qiya tekislikning boshidan biror bir toshni pastga qarab qo'yib yuborsak, uning yerni tortish kuchi qanaqa ish bajaradi? Shu haqida so'ralyapti. Demak, yerning tortish kuchi ta'sirida bajariladigan ishimiz faqat balandlikka bog'liq bo'ladi. Ya'ni potensial energiyasining o'zgarishiga bog'liq bo'ladi. Shunaqami? Demak, potensial energiya o'zgarishi degani mana shu nuqtadan jism pastga qarab tushib boradi va potensial energiya balandlikka bog'liq. Mana shu nuqtadagi B nuqtadagi va A nuqtadagi balandliklar farqi 30 metrga teng. Shunaqami? Tushundinglarmi? Bu 50 metr masofa bosib o'tgan taqdirda ham 30 metr ko'chyapti pastga qarab.
Assalomu alaykum. Ism familiyam Akmal Abduminov. Global Perspective fanidan dars beraman. Bugun 9-buluv sinfida self-evaluation mavzusida onlayn darsini o'tyapmiz. And you calculate. There is the results. Next is self-reflection. What did you understand? What did you grasp? Did you understand something? What itself does about the given that sort, that material evaluation process, or any types of here the written or the line graph or this describe it. Do you have any questions? Have you written all of them? So what did you understand? What you didn't from the written, from the given you information?